What does it actually take to reshape a nation from the ground up? Today, we're diving into a detailed blueprint for Bangladesh that plans to do just that. And it all starts with two fundamental pillars: a free media and human rights. So, where does an idea this big even come from? Well, the philosophical heart of this whole transformation is laid out in this book, The Architects of Tomorrow. It's positioned as much more than just a critique of the present. It's a guide for building a completely different future for the country. And this quote from the book's preface really says it all, doesn't it? This isn't about minor adjustments or small policy tweaks. We're talking about a strategic roadmap designed to completely alter the nation's course. All right, here's how we're going to break this down. We'll start with the big picture vision, then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the Freedom Blueprint, and finally, we'll walk through the actual timeline, from the urgent actions of the first 180 days to the long-term plan for lasting stability. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the vision. What's the core philosophy that's really driving this whole ambitious plan? At its heart, the central idea is what's called a revolution for the rejuvenation of Bangladesh. The thinking here is that you can't just paper over the cracks. You have to go right to the source and confront those deep-rooted challenges like corruption and injustice that are seen as holding the nation back. And the end goal? Well, it's incredibly ambitious. The vision is to elevate Bangladesh to the level of a global leader in stability and progress. They're setting the bar high, looking at countries like Japan, Finland, and Singapore as the models to aspire to. So you have this huge vision, this grand idea. But how do you actually turn that into action? Well, that brings us to what's called the Freedom Blueprint. This is it, the operational core of the entire project. It's called Article-30, and you can think of it as the engine room for the whole vision, with a laser focus on three things: free media, human rights, and civil liberties. And this roadmap isn't just a list of ideas. It's broken down into four clear phases. It ticks off with immediate emergency measures, then shifts to building lasting institutions. After that, it's about engaging with the world, and finally, it's all about locking in permanent stability. Phase 1 is all about hitting the ground running. The first 6 months are designed to make a big impact fast, to build trust and get some real momentum going with some immediate foundational changes. So what happens right away? Well, it's a flurry of activity. First, and this is a huge one, an immediate repeal of the controversial Digital Security Act, a law that's been heavily criticized for stifling free speech. Alongside that, an amnesty for journalists and activists abroad so they can return home safely. And a symbolic gesture, returning a seized newspaper to its original owner. And the why behind getting rid of the DSA right away is crystal clear. It's to create some immediate breathing room. The stated goal is to instantly reduce the pressure on the media and on anyone who wants to exercise their freedom of speech. It's about opening the valve right from day one. Okay, so once those emergency measures are in place, the plan shifts gears. Now it's all about making these changes permanent. The focus moves to building strong, durable institutions that can protect these freedoms for the long haul. And the cornerstone of this new foundation is a proposed independent media commission. The key word here, of course, is independent. The plan is to establish it by law as a truly nonpartisan body, a neutral guardian that sets standards for the industry and protects journalists. But, protecting journalists isn't just about laws. It's also about their livelihood. So this phase gets right into the practical stuff. It outlines a two-step approach. First, ensuring journalists get paid fairly and on time, and second, boosting government support with things like housing and health insurance to create a much more secure environment for them to work in. Now we move into the final two phases, which is where the plan really zooms out. The focus shifts to reshaping the country's image on the world stage and cementing all these reforms so they last for generations. A huge piece of this global strategy is the plan to launch 10, yes, 10 international standard English media channels. The goal here is really explicit: to proactively fight misinformation and project a more accurate picture of Bangladesh to the rest of the world. Of course, new laws and global channels are one thing, but journalists also need to feel safe on the ground, right? That's where this next piece comes in: a dedicated Journalist Protection Unit, or JPU. Its mission is simple: make sure reporters can do their jobs without fear of violence or intimidation. So, after getting rid of the Digital Security Act, you might be asking, what replaces it? The plan doesn't propose a vacuum. Instead, it calls for a brand new cyber law, but with a critical distinction. This new law would be designed to align with international standards, targeting actual cybercrimes without being a tool to suppress free expression. All right, let's just put it all together one last time. The whole roadmap kicks off with a bang. Immediate legal changes and security guarantees in the first 6 months. From there, over the next year, it's all about building institutions like the Media Commission. Then, the focus shifts outward to fixing the country's global image, before finally, in the long term, cementing everything with new laws designed for permanent stability. So there you have it. It is, without a doubt, an incredibly detailed and comprehensive blueprint. It takes you all the way from a sweeping national vision down to very specific time-bound actions. But it leaves us with one massive question, doesn't it? A plan on paper is one thing, but what does it really take, politically, socially, and culturally, to turn such a grand vision into a lasting reality?